So let's get into this article. This is from Free Beacon, right?
Yeah. I found interesting on this article that um, one for the Supreme Court, the obvious choice is the likely one as the main title, and then the subtitle is several factors give Amy Coney Barrett an edge, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Uh,
Yeah, I
uh,
found that interesting as well. Like, I don't really know what they mean there because from what I've been reading, Lagoa seems to be the one that they're pretty sure is going to be chosen just because they believe that like it's going to 100% win the Florida vote because she's Floridian and she's Latina and
mm.
there's such a like Cuban and Hispanic population in Florida that they seem to love her. Why? Do you know what they're saying are the advantages of Barrett?
um,
The
Not
absence of
really.
outside.
I think that they're mainly talking about, they're talking about how I'm mixing it. There's Lagoa. Who's the Barrett? Barrett is the other nominee. Barrett is more hardcore Republican and hardcore, conservative and things like that. But I
It also
haven't.
said she was a Supreme Court finalist before, like so she's I think she's gone through these steps a little bit.
Yeah,
Is what it's saying as well,
she's
but
older too. I think she's older.
hmm,
But like I've seen other articles too that are
closer to being
they're
replaced.
they're bashing her too. That Barrett. It's almost like everyone thinks Barrett's gonna get it, and it makes me think that Trump has put that. It makes me think that Trump almost. I don't know. It seems like there's a reason they're all ganging up on Barrett, right?
I just don't understand why you would gang up on either of them. Like, what's the
Yeah.
goal? Like, what's the isn't like if they're not a good candidate, wouldn't you just not vote for them? Like, I don't understand why all the slander sort of comes out about a Supreme Court justice pick, because if if there's a Senate process to like vote these people in, shouldn't like I'm sure that the senators are going to have the information to know what's going on with the person, and there's going to be a hearing, and it's going to be televised, and I
Yeah.
just don't understand what all the slanders for. Like these two professionals who have worked obviously their asses off to get somewhere in their career, regardless of their political leanings. Like have either of them done anything sort of really wrong, like drink a lot in high school, like Kavanaugh did, or
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. Don't know. Maybe they'll have some accusations come out against them from 45
I'm
years ago.
sure they will.
You know.
I'm sure they will. I I also think it was funny when the whole Kavanaugh thing was happening. I remember there was like the Republicans were sort of saying, "Don't do this because you're going to regret it when you're trying to pick a Supreme Court justice." And it's like, even if they do that again, if they really do just try and like throw mud at whoever gets the nominee again, it's probably why they're looking at two women so that there can't be any rape allegations. Actually, like
Oh my God,
really,
that's an interesting thought. Yeah. Imagine.
I bet it is. I bet they're like, well, neither of these girls can me too anyone,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. There's no way the Democrats will me too a
yeah,
woman. You know.
yeah, exactly. Well, they
Because
won't
then
even
it's
me
like
too
believe
Joe
all women.
Biden.
If you me too a woman, but it's believe all women, then that woman can just defend herself. She never raped anyone, right? Because believe all
That's
women.
right, exactly. Whatever
Yeah.
she says is the word.
So so it in a really weird way it does give women power because then Republicans will only be able to put up women, so they can't get me too'd,
Mhm.
and then women will run, the Republicans. So maybe the
Yeah.
Democrats get what they want, but the other article, the Reuters article, I think is better in terms of like they're actually bashing Barrett.
I
I
mean,
confuse the articles, but they're the ones saying that she's like out of A Handmaid's Tale, is it?
and that's what I don't understand. Yeah, they're saying like she's from Handmaid's Tale, question mark, U.S. Supreme Court candidates, religious community under scrutiny. And I don't understand this because if we agree that Barrett is the further right option, if you're a mainstream media publication, wouldn't you want the woman of color, moderate judge as the Supreme Court nominee? Like, why would you try and fight with that and have it so that potentially you end up with a more conservative judge? I just don't really understand like why you would go after this person.
No, Barrett's the conservative one. Lagoa's the Latino.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Reuters is a left-wing publication, right? So you would imagine out of Lagoa and Barrett, they would want Lagoa, right?
They're bashing Barrett in here, right?
Oh, are they? Oh,
Yeah.
for some reason I thought that was Lagoa. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're
Okay, so
bashing
they're just
Barrett.
backing. Right.
Which,
Oh
there
yeah,
could
here we
be
go.
a
Barrett, my bad.
there could be a strategy behind that where Trump's making it seem like Barrett is the one, because then
Yeah,
the news, the journalists and everything will focus on Barrett, try and dig up
yeah,
everything they can, and then he's like, "Oh, surprise! I got a Latino woman of color
yeah,
over here. We're gonna pick
yeah.
her." And there's gonna be no backlash, or there's gonna be nothing they can dig up right before he actually puts her in. And then when she's in, dig up
But
whatever you want, but
also,
she's in, right?
but how can you even bring anything up on her? Like women of
Yeah,
color can do nothing wrong, right?
women of color,
Like that was what women of color. That's
women
why.
and of color, two
I know,
major things.
exactly. Like holy shit, man! Like she wins the intersectionality Olympics there, and it's this is the strategy that Biden seemed to go with. So if putting women of color into positions as a as a way of defending yourself from potentially being called a racist sexist
Mm.
becomes the new norm, then you're probably just going to expect a lot more of that, right? Like now, there's some people would probably say that that's a good thing. It means that you're going to have more women of color in these positions and things like that. I wonder if it's now just starting to become a thing where would you wonder if you were either of these two women, do you think that you're wondering if at all you're getting offered the job because of your gender at that point?
Yeah, you're still getting, yeah, exactly.
Like,
Um,
I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I was talking to my brother recently about he's a performing artist, and he was talking a lot about how there were like acting schools that are systemically racist and things like that. And I sort of had a chat with him and said, would you consider yourself to be like an actor of color? And he said yes, and I was like, okay, well, if you're pushing to make these companies or these schools or judges or whatever be more like inclusive, not out of anything of merit, but more out of just things like your skin color. Are you not worried that at some point in your life you're going to wonder if you're even getting jobs because of you actually being a good actor, or are you going to be getting them because of the fact that you're mixed race? And he had to think about it for a little while, and he was sort of sitting there at the end going like, I don't, that's actually a good point. Like, I wouldn't want to think that I was just getting roles because of the color of my skin.
yeah,
But it feels like after Biden did that whole I'm electing a woman of color as my VP no matter what thing, or a black woman or whatever, however he phrased it, it just seems like we're pushing more and more towards not picking people on merit, but instead what's in their pants and the color of their skin.
pretty much. I mean, a similar trope is the rich man always worried that the wife is trying to gold dig, right?
Right.
A similar kind of thing. It might have to get to that point. Some people only learn through experiences, so maybe we have to give all these people just roles because of their color, and maybe they'll understand after a while that that's not the perfect thing to do. I was talking to a guy last night actually, and he was saying that, and he was arguing with me that systemic racism is. My whole point was systemic racism is like, if you have a beard and I tell you to trim it, and you trim it as best as you can, but there's still 5 hairs remaining, right? And I just come back every fucking day and tell you to trim it. Like that's how people are treating systemic racism. Like you can never, the majority is always gonna be. I would wish that there'd be no racism, but the majority is always gonna have some sort of bias to outside influences, right? Until everyone merges into a similar sort of biological
Well,
entity. Um,
it's either, I think the thing is, it's that you either we either agree we either agree that people have inherent biases towards their own groups, and and we're just going to agree that that's sort of something that exists, or we believe that that is a social, like something that has been socially engineered into our society, which is what I think the people who are systemic, who believe in systemic racism, seem to be saying, is that it's not just that there's like 3 or 4 hairs left and you've been trying to get rid of it all, but like, you know, you're doing a good job and people are recognizing their biases. What they're saying is that because the people who started the system were racist, that they basically cooked racism into an entire political and corporate system.
Mm.
But
I mean,
outside of that, I don't have any proof for it. So you know what I
yeah.
like? It's like I'm trying to defend the point, but I don't have any proof that systemic racism exists. So
I mean,
that's
I wouldn't argue against that, but I would argue against someone saying that only, because this is where I think it all kind of, this is my whole thing. This guy was saying, gave an example how in India that women that have lighter skin are seen as better, right?
right.
And it's like saying that for whatever reason, like you said, it's like we don't know why, but as a society we've been ingrained to be racist, right? And so they blame white people. And but
Right.
if you took a group of Asian people or black people, say one of those groups were the first groups to control the world,
Yeah.
you can't also argue that it's racist. It's technically racist to say that those groups wouldn't do the same thing, because then
Yeah.
you're putting them in a box and saying these people wouldn't be
Yeah. And
racist,
you're saying,
right?
well, that's exactly right. And I think that there's sort of a link that we have later that talks about that exact point. So we might want to come back to like the systemic racism thing. But
True.
with regards to
True.
these judges, sort of specifically, I mean, I think that you're probably right. I think that Trump is. From what I was reading around today, it seems like Trump is. It seems like people believe that Trump's going to pick Lagoa eventually, and I think he announced. Do we have the tweet? He announced that
Oh yeah,
on
Saturday.
Saturday he's going to be announcing it, which will be interesting.
That'll be fun. That'll be a good day of news. That'll be good for
Yeah.
Monday. We'll have a lot of stuff to talk about Monday, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's right.
Anyways, the
Um,
judges are pretty. I honestly would like Legault to get in, to be honest, because I think it helps Trump out. I think it also is what the left. It's giving the left also something that they want. Helps Trump out because he's putting in a woman of color and giving them a chance, while also, hopefully, Trump is also just looking at it from a who's the better pick. And if Lagoa is a better pick, then it's a win-win for everybody if it's done correctly.
100%. Do we have any of the links in here about like AOC regarding Ruth Bader Ginsburg's last wish?
Um,
Because I think that's actually a really not necessarily important. I don't think that.
oh, I remember you. Let me see if I can get those links. It might be in the WhatsApp.
Yeah, because she basically said that because RGB or RBG, whatever the fuck her name, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, was in her last words saying that she wanted the Supreme Court nomination to wait until the next election, that should somehow supersede the Constitution. Which I don't know, but
I have the
it'd be interesting.
filibuster one. That's not the one you're talking about, eh?
There's like a clip. There's a couple of clips. There's the if you. It should be with the Hodge twins.
I might have missed. I think I might have missed a. I might have went far enough back.
Let me find it for you. Mm.
Yeah, I know I missed the. No, I got those. I see the hill. Yeah, I've got it up, I think. This is a man who does not care about a dying woman's final wish.
Yeah.
The video.
Yeah, the video.
I need you to be ready. And I need you to
man,
be
the way she
ready to
talks.
be responsive.
It's so fucking condescending,
And
man.
by
It's
that,
brutal.
I mean,
It's honestly brutal to watch.
we don't
And it's
quite know
also crazy
what
to
the
see
next
someone
play is
who
in terms
like
of
ran
this
as a
issue on the
progressive
Supreme
fucking candidate just really bend over for the establishment and basically voter shame everyone into voting for Joe Biden, even though he's not going to help any progressive cause whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, you are such a fucking tool of the establishment at this point.
Yep.
Have you got the video up?
She nominated. Yeah, I was playing it in the background. She nominated Bernie Sanders
Court, right?
symbolically.
Mitch
even though
McConnell
I
sent
guess
out a
it was,
statement
like,
tonight.
before Joe Biden was
and
officially the nominee.
As I said at the opening,
Okay, do you want to play it
very
again? And
last
I'll shut up.
I need you to be ready. I need you to be ready. And I need you to be ready to be responsive. And by that, I mean, we don't quite know what the next play is in terms of this issue on the Supreme Court, right? Mitch McConnell sent out a statement tonight. And as I said at the opening, the very last dying wish of RBG was that her vacancy not be filled until the new president takes office in January. That was her dying wish. Tonight, Mitch McConnell publicly, the night of her passing, he couldn't wait 24 hours, issued a statement saying that he was going to give Trump a vote in violation of her dying wish. People can say how appalling, people could say this is horrible, etc. But we know who this man is. We know who this man is. This is a man who does not care about a dying woman's final wish. Clearly.
Clearly.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
It's crazy. Like, I need you to be ready. I need you to be ready. I need you to and like I saw another video where she's like saying I need you to radicalize. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about? She's
imagine, like my last wish was for fucking, anybody could give their last wish. It doesn't mean it's granted. It doesn't matter if you're a Supreme Court justice or not.
It doesn't matter if you're a saint, man. Like, look, she's a lovely, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a lovely person,
Yeah.
Thank you for doing such a great job for such a long time. We're all very, very appreciative. But you know the law better than almost anyone. You know that we can't just rip up the Constitution just because you have a dying wish.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not the way the fucking country works.
Which is and Trump you heard about how Trump said that he look, this is distasteful. I will agree that this is distasteful. But he did make a point where he was like, I suspect that may not even be true, that she may not have even said that. And your point there, which is that she is a judge, she knows how the law works.
Well, that's right. Would she ever ask to do something unconstitutional with her last breath? Yeah. And I'm sure that she has a ton of better things to be saying with her last breath, probably to the people she loves, than fuck Trump, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't... Look, honestly, I was about to say I don't want to say that anyone will be lying about that, but I don't think that that's any sort of insult to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. If Ruth Bader Ginsburg said it, great, you said it. I don't, it's not taking anything away from her. But at this point, I don't trust AOC at all. I don't trust Nancy Pelosi at all. I don't trust any of the Dems that would say that this is true. Just like if Brett Kavanaugh died tomorrow and Trump came out and said, and Brett with his last final wish said, I want Trump to have unlimited terms forever. I would be like, well, maybe he did say it, but it still doesn't fucking matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Which is the point, right? Like,
And I would question, did he really say that, or is that Trump?
Yeah, did he say that? I'd be like,
Sounds like
man,
something
like
Trump
that
would
seems
say,
like a
yeah.
lie. Yeah, exactly. And this seems like something that the Dems would say. It's an emotional argument that is not logical.
Yeah.
That very much seems like a leftist sort of talking point.
Yeah, that is a good point too.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope that they're not using the death of this fucking woman to pretend and grandstand and try and rob half the country of the Supreme Court justice that they would like to see appointed.
Yeah.
Right? Because the thing is, it's like if you're a Democrat, I can obviously understand why you want it to be why you want it to wait until the election. But if you're a Republican, you don't. So why should you ask the Republicans to wait when you were so upset that you had to wait when you didn't have the power to actually put someone in 4 years ago?
And again, it comes back to the same point as the do you really want to be in a position because of your skin color, right? Do we really want to appoint judges because of, emotions? No.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly. 100%. And it's just not the way the country's meant to be run. Like, it's not. Once again, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Is there any other links, by the way, that are related to that? I think it's.
Yeah, there was like a Hodge Twins link. They said something really funny about that, actually. There was the tweet that you had from. Yeah. Oh, did you see that tweet from the Daily Brief? That guy. It's like Thomas Duryea 5. You've got some text next to it. Reply basically confirming why I think Trump will never pick her.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let me pull that up.
Yeah. This guy goes, "My appeal to voters: vote for Biden if for no other reason than so we never have to see Trump's ugly face again, or listen to his ego and hatred spews lies, foul language, ... You get it." I don't really get it. You're sort of just sounding like a Trump hater. Like, you're not like, okay, you said that he lied. Like, you said, well, you sound like an angry person, right? The Brief is a proud member of the Trump 2020 enemy list of internet politicians.
Where's the Daily Brief? Let's see who this guy is. Served in the intelligence community in Washington, D.C. Family man, vet, lifelong Democrat. Love God and country for sound, sane commentary. For sound, sane commentary, follow the Brief. We should podcast with this guy.
We should. For sound, sane commentary. Like, vote for Biden because Trump is ugly and mean and he says bad words sometimes. Yeah, cool.
He says, after years of effort by the Republican Party to dumb down America, nowhere else is it more evident than on Twitter. The responses I get from the right are incoherent, factually wrong, hateful, and written on a 5th grade level. It's so sad they have to stoop so low to get votes. Let's just back up again here. What was that tweet? What did that say again? Oh yeah, vote for Biden if for no other reason than so we never have to see Trump's ugly face again. Like, okay.
This is the thing. Like, it's like I feel like a lot of the time, and this is, I think, one of my big problems with the left at the moment is that they're just projecting. Like, you're projecting your own flaws. You're saying that other people don't make good sentences. You're saying that other people like make arguments with no evidence or anything like that. But you basically just spew out hate.
Yeah.
And why would I want to? Like, why would I agree with you if you're such a hateful person? Like, I don't agree with anyone that's that hateful.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, I'm a loving person. I want everyone to get along. I don't want anyone to be angry with one another. And I don't think that saying someone's ugly and has an ego and says foul words is a good enough reason to say that you need to vote for the other person. And I don't think